All right. So you can just drop a comment. So it's very, very interactive. I like interactive sessions. Like I really gonna think you people enjoy it. So if you try it out, you test it yourself. Um, okay. So I know you can hear me, but who can hear me? I want to get feedback. I can't hear someone's voice. Who can hear me? Like, also to just be able to come off the mic and say something. Okay, thank you. Um, all right. The rest of us are voice chat. But if you can hear me, that's great. So I'll do a quick rundown um through what we'll be learning through the 2 months period briefly. I hope you guys will be able to see my screen shortly. So let me take this out of here. So this is it. So I'll do a breakthrough. So we are about to get on a very exciting journey. And that's why I'm just like, why you guys not talking? Because this journey is long and exciting. You know, you don't make it boring for me. So we have 2 months, 8 weeks, and for the first 2 months, I'm doing foundation and skill building. The second month, we're doing execution and monetization. So I'll share what I plan to, share with you, teach you through the first 4 weeks. So for the first week, one, we're covering digital marketing fundamentals, which, we'll start today after I do all of this introduction and kind of give you your scheme of work, to begin with. So digital marketing fundamentals. I'm really excited about this. I hope you all are. And yeah, let me go on for now. What digital marketing really is without the fluffs, get to understand for the first week actually, which we'll be beginning today, like I already mentioned, after I'm done with all the course outlined here, the paid ads, organic marketing, the funnels, then we'll also get to customer journey. You get to understand what these terms mean, even though they look like something, gibberish or new. If in case they do, most of these terms you get to understand them today. Customer journey from awareness to conversion. Then you understand the niche selection. Very, very important for beginners. And then we'll do a practical project at the end of this week one, where I would have you pick a niche, then you define the target audience for that niche, the problem, and then the offer. That'll be like an assignment at the end of week one. And for week two, giving you breakdown, we'll jump down into copywriting basics, which is copywriting by itself is a high income skill, and you learn how to sell with your words. So we'll cover things like psychology of buying, writing books, headlines, ad copy, AD copy, not HARD copy, emotional psychological selling, either past remarks, and you also have a practical project at the end to write added lines, to write full ad copies for your niche. And it should look like a build up from your week one assignments, right? And then we'll go forward into week three. Okay, so we talk about meta advertising, Facebook ads and Instagram ads, where you do your campaign structure, your campaign ad sets we cover the objectives of ads, traffic leads, you begin to get your hands, more messy in a positive way. Traffic leads, conversions, audience targeting, interests, custom audience, budgeting basics, and all of those stuffs. You also have a best practical project here to, set up your own campaign here on Meta Business Suites and all of that. Then we'll proceed to week four, which, the goal is to make it think like a pro. We talk about tracking and optimization. We learn how to set up pixels, Google conversion tracking, key metrics, CTR, CPC, CPA, and how to optimize your ads. What are those key metric means? I know that right now some of these things might sound strange, like, like I'm speaking in tongues for someone that is Christian, but then you get to see, what it is as we proceed. And this part I'm really excited about, so I should stay true to the next month. It was in week 5, all right, which is where we are going advanced. We talk about funnels and landing pages. You get to understand what is a funnel, how to create landing pages. You're talking about tools like WordPress, Elementor, lead magnets, and you have your own practical projects to build a landing page, build your lead capture form, really, really exciting stuff. And we'll get to week 6. Somebody say week 6. Week 6, I plan to teach email marketing. All right, so you learn email marketing fundamentals, building great email marketing, how to set up your email tools, and so what's end so that we get to week 7 where you can learn getting clients slash jobs. This is where the monetization part comes in. All right, so we'll cover we'll cover freelancing, job agency, the different routes that it's possible to earn from via digital marketing, the pros and the cons, you know, and then we'll check out how to outreach, getting clients via Instagram outreach, LinkedIn strategy, code DM scripts, and then building a simple portfolio. So, we just check all through, in process around them freelancing job or maybe start your own digital marketing agency, which is along the line. Then with 8, you see, that's why you should follow through. All right. That's the purpose of explaining all that you've been enjoying, all that how you're expecting that you write it in on through from week 1 down so that you look at the future. You see the picture ahead and you are willing to commit through to the end of the class, not just the first month, but down even to the second month. And then we have week 8, which should be the final, pass for this 2 months course. So we'll do a real campaign and case study together where you have to run a complete campaign by yourself from offer, the landing page ads, copying everything we've taught from week 1 to week 7 by yourself and just give it a budget, no matter how low, 20K to test or something, and then report it, just report your results. So this one becomes your portfolio slash case study, from when we start talking about how to outreach in week 7, like old outreaches, trying to maybe source so clients by yourself. You see the importance of having something in your portfolio that, you need to have something in your portfolio that you can refer to that you've done before, irrespective of the spend, even if it's 5K, 20K, whatever it is that, you can just see that you've done something before. And outside of week 8, the course, so that's primarily it, so covering from week 1 to week 8. And in summary, the course includes, not in all details, was summarized, meta ads, copywriting, funnels, client acquisition or acquisition, then real campaign execution. So for bonuses, yeah, I'll be giving you bonuses because I love bonuses. Yes, so I'll give you outreach scripts, which is what we'll see in week 7. So outreach scripts, how to, in case you don't even understand what that means, for the bonuses, somewhere you get to know. But it's something that is very, very important. Then add copy site files, landing page templates, campaign checklist. And I wish you really understand what these things are. You have been excited. But for now, you are not really as excited as you should. But you can just pretend to be excited, yeah, so that when you finally understand, you will not feel bad for not being excited now. And okay, so it's reactive. And so we'll move on from this to get started with today's class, week 1 lecture. Straight away, I just have to um, share the right file and move out from this particular one. All right, so da, da, da. So, but I hope that you guys are excited because as you can see, I'm excited. We are in for a long ride. There's so much that I'm ready for you. I came prepared for you, of course, in a positive light. And I hope that yeah, it's ready for me as well. So in one, or should I say rather, I'll take my off, sorry. In less than 1 minute, less than 1 minute rather, be able to see the slides as I'm already starting to share. But sure, so this is the first class ever. So I'll say welcome, congratulations, success, and all those sweet things I've been telling you from the beginning of the onboarding session. But now let's just dive straight to learning. What is digital marketing foundations, and what is market understanding? That's the course for this week one, and what we're planning to really cover for this week. The goal for this week is to really get you to understand how digital marketing works in real world, how customers make buying decisions, how businesses attract and convert people online. So the goal is to actually, first of all, understand how digital marketing works in the real world, how customers make buying decisions, two different things. And then once, okay, how businesses attract and convert people online, and how to select the right niche, the right audience, and the right offer. So in case the niche audience offer still needs definition, don't worry, I'll define that as we go along. But the most important thing to define for a digital marketing class is digital marketing itself. So let's start with that. What is digital marketing? So I'll give you a simple definition that would really help you understand this and get up to speed with this. And I'll give you a definition that will be in your lesson notes in the course material. So I usually start with define digital marketing to my students. Just say digital marketing primarily is just marketing digitally. If I were to explain that, don't worry, I know you can see a very sweet, professional, good-looking definition on your screen. But this just helps you really understand it fast, and then I'll come back to explain the definition that I put there that you can see. So marketing has been existing before digital marketing came into existence. All right, so there are traditional forms of marketing, other forms of marketing. So digital marketing is just one of the many forms of marketing. So when you do marketing from the digital approach, actually you're already doing digital marketing. So the definition there is digital marketing is the use of digital channels and platforms to attract, engage, convert, and retain customers online. But to just keep it simple, I'll say digital marketing is marketing digitally, actually marketing digitally. So we are using digital channels and platforms to market. And because there are too many digital channels and platforms, it makes digital marketing very, very, very broad. Very, very broad. So we'll just check out, and they are referred to as channels, the different channels or different digital marketing channels that we do have, that we use to attract, engage, convert, and retain customers online. And there's a reason why I did not just put digital marketing is marketing, digitally, or saying digital marketing is the use of digital channels and platforms to market. No, there's a reason why I was more explicit, or I had to be more detailed in what you have in your, in the course material, which comes off free after implements for a certificate. Because material is like a detailed file of all the lesson notes of what I'll be presenting to you, not just what you can see on your screen, not the slide. All right, the slide is, slide sometimes doesn't cover all the details, but there's a lesson notes that I've prepared that has, more details of everything I'll be teaching, and just like, your notes that I've already prepared for you for each of these lessons, each of the classes. So we give this to you free, once you make payments for your certificate as well. So back to the definition, why I chose to add to attract, engage, convert, and retain customers online instead of just saying marketing digitally in your lesson files is because that is the process to marketing. You have to attract them, you have to engage, you have to convert and retain customers online. So but nonetheless, let's go ahead to share. At least we've already settled that digital marketing is for easy remembrance, marketing digitally, marketing through digital channels. So now let's talk about the examples of these different digital platforms, or like I say, digital channels. That's a professional term, the way they refer to it. So I know you're a digital marketer, these are learning digital marketing. You just say digital channels, then someone will know that you are taking a digital marketing course somewhere, or you have started taking classes, So now these are the actual channels that digital marketing happens. So the first one is social media. Social media is one of the digital marketing channels. Um, I want to confirm, can you still see? Okay, I believe you can still see my screen. Okay, okay, please, if you can share from your end, I'll really appreciate. Thank you. Let me stop sharing. So digital, let me take that back. So I'm listing the digital marketing channels that we do have. All right, the first one is social media marketing, and I know that for some of us that are very new to this, I'm not expecting social media to be categorized as just a single channel, because if you know anything about social media, you know that there are different social media platforms. So if you say social media marketing, you are not just referring to one platform. You are referring to platforms like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, and the likes, Thread, X, and all the others that I may not even be aware of, that somebody is in his kitchen trying to do it right now as we are talking. Because these things, people keep developing new apps. So we will not be able to really exhaust the number of social media platforms that we have. There are more than I don't know. Right? There are more than I don't know. So, and that's another thing about I have to stop sharing this so you can just have a single share. Give me a minute. That's one thing about social media, marketing. Even as a business owner, when we begin to delve into this, it's important to know that there are so many social media platforms, and not all of them is your business in real sense. The only one you should focus on is the one that applies to that particular niche. But the most general one, the most basic ones that the biggest is Meta, right? Has the most users, has everything. That's why we'll be focusing on Meta primarily throughout this course program. Meta is like the group company name for Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram. All right, so it's expected that basically, at least as a digital marketer, I should understand how to, market from this platform, at least, even if you don't know, to begin with, which is many times the ones that most businesses actually need. All right, but for the rest, those ones is based on based on you, your brand, what they're about, what they sell. For example, you have social media, we can call them social media platforms like Pinterest, like Behance, like, some of us will never need to have an account on those platforms because we don't actually need it. Your business don't need it. So it depends on the kind of business you run, the kind of thing you do. Behance is more of, for people into design, graphic designers, UI designers, they showcase their work. Behance. And Pinterest. So Pinterest is more of any people, any guy, people that just have to get into his pictures, including fashion guys. So I'm just explaining this, so going further to say you don't need to know all the social media platforms that exist in this life. All right, and you cannot even know, because people are just trying to build things by themselves from all over the world every time, every day. But it's good to know that that's one of the major channel of, one of the core channel of digital marketing, social media marketing. So we'll come back in depth to explain each one of these channels. I'm just doing a breeze through all of them in this, right now in this section. Then we'll come back to dwell mostly on one, which will be meta advertising. So social media marketing. So the advantage is, high engagement. Engagement means you are interacting with people. Then it gives you fast brand visibility, great for storytelling. And the disadvantages of social media marketing is that it's dependent on the algorithm. The algorithm, what does that mean? People program it, people create it. So the people that created each of these platforms, while programming it, they already decided, what it should favor, what you have to do to get more likes, what you have to do to get more reach. So you have to know the algorithm of the platform you are on and dance to their terms if you want to grow on that platform. Right? You have to know what works on that particular platform. So that's what I mean when I say algorithm dependency. And if they change the algorithm, you have to find out, okay, what's the algorithm now favoring? Is it video that is now getting more views? Is it video they are choosing to push more? Or is carousel? So the time the carousel was the biggest hit on Instagram, everybody was using carousel slides. Now videos videos gets more attention, video gets more views and everything. So we have algorithm dependency, and it requires consistency as well, and can be slow for direct sales, sometimes without ads, sometimes if you are trying to grow organically. And the next digital marketing channel is search engine marketing. That's the next slide. Um, Search engine marketing for, please let me switch to the next slide. Uh, so that's search engine marketing. It has to do with an online tool that helps people find information on the internet. When we talk about search engine, the biggest so far currently in the world, as we know, it is Google. All right, Google. But there are other search engine platforms. There is Bing, there is Yahoo. I know some of us don't recall that Yahoo used to be a search engine platform, but yes, Yahoo is a search engine platform. So yes, Yahoo used to be a search engine platform. Yahoo used to be a search engine platform. So search engine is just an online tool that helps people find information on the internet by typing in keywords or questions. And so like Google being Yahoo, like I said, the difference between, and let me just do that. Let me do a practical demo for 1 minute. Let me share let me share my screen. Uh-oh. So Google is this Google, for example. So this search engine, if I go to search, so I'm trying to search something, I'm just trying to find information about anything at all. Okay, so once I put in what I want to search for here, give me an idea. Why does QuickBooks come to mind? So I'm just trying to, I heard somebody mention QuickBooks, and I'm trying to think about what QuickBook is. We've all used Google, right? So this doesn't need too many explanations. It's like I like being detailed sometimes. Um, so you use it to get information, you put in your record, and that's just an example of search engine. But search engine marketing means that you are now paying the search engine platform to display your products when they are searching for you. So let me use something like kids tablets. So if I search for kids tablets now, for example, you see sponsored products. Sponsored products here means that these people are paying for platform. They are buying space on the Google search engine space. So they are, you are seeing 837 Android educational tablets, 837, you're seeing the difference price here. This thing, you're already seeing sponsored products. It means they paid for it in some way, all right? And you're seeing the websites that is paying for these slots under their name. You're seeing Konga, you're seeing Jumia. Sponsored means they paid to appear here. They are not showing because Google likes them or because they are the best products. Really, it doesn't mean they're not the best, but that's not them. But I'm just trying to emphasize that when you search and you see sponsored, it means the person paid to appear. And then the next one that I usually have is which is good, when somebody wants to buy something, let's say they are searching for phone or hairdressing salon around my area or things like that. So people pay to be able to appear, on search engine platform. The ability to do that, the technical aspect of that, the marketing channel is referred to as search engine marketing. We talked about social media marketing. I explained that, I clarified that. Now I'm trying to explain what search engine marketing is. So let me come back to my slides and just leave the screen temporarily. Yep. So search engine marketing, like I said, the idea is just literally to pay search engines so that it can present you when people are looking for information. So the advantage of using search engine marketing is it's high buyer intent. So for somebody to go online to search about something, it means like they're really ready to buy compared to social media marketing, where the person wasn't really thinking about you, was just catching cruise, and then person saw your adverts, I'm selling this, I'm selling that. Or somebody to go and search kids tablets, for example, it means the person is most likely, in very hot mode to buy that kids tablet. So it gives faster results, it's highly measurable, and its advantage is that it can be expensive, it requires optimization, and then you have different people competing for the same keywords. So for example, we type in kids tablets and you're seeing different brands. everybody know that kit stablet is a hot word. So you're not the only one that have thought about it. And the way search engine marketing works is that you are advertising based on what the person puts into the search bar, which is what we call keywords. What the person typed. In my own case, when I shared my browser, I put in kit stablet. So everybody know that, so you're not the only one competing for that particular keyword that you think you're competing for. So, consider keywords, that's what that means, you know, which which is why it becomes even more expensive, by the way. So the third one I'll talk about for digital marketing channels is SEO. We've talked about social media marketing, SMM, giving the popular abbreviation so that you can start feeling like a marketing guy too. Then there's search engine marketing, SEM. There is search engine optimization, SEO. All right, so SEO is very, very similar to SEM and also very, very different in that sense. So like you can see, SEO primarily is optimizing websites to rank organically on search engines. So what's the difference? The difference is that you are not paying them this time to show you. You are just doing, because whether you pay Google or not to display your brand, your products, the role of search engines is that when you give them a keyword, they have to sort around the entire internet and return data to you that is similar to what you searched for, whether you pay them, whether the people pay them for it or not. Just that, it's also a business and they have to earn from it. So some people pay them to say, outside from your organic results. So organic results is the normal results that they return after their search or after their query. Both of them means the same thing in this case. So they return the results. You put in something like Kit Tablet, or you put in something like Fashion House. Google scans the whole internet based on your location, based on the website that has the most visits, that looks more reputable. So every search engine platform, and in this case, we focus on Google because Google is like the biggest, not like Google is actually the biggest search engine platform currently. Every search engine platform have their own metric on how they rank their results. All right. So if you search for something on Google, Google has its own metric to define which person's answer to show first to you. So Google is not responsible for the answers, how I put it, for the content. All right. It's only presenting the content of other people. So let me just switch back to my browser to share more insights to this so that we get to see this even more better. So I shared something, I'll share my browser and I searched for kids tablets, right? So if I go through, let me search for something more common. So how to make $1 million. Please don't copy my search, don't copy my trend, don't copy my goal. So now if I search for how to make $1 million on Google, and and I'm scrolling down now, this AI overview, that's not what we're talking about. AI overview is not the same as paid search. AI overview is something Google introduced when ChatGPT wanted to show them what they call shady. ChatGPT was taking most of people were no longer searching on Google because they just felt like they're using ChatGPT instead because okay, ChatGPT just gives you a simple answer. It doesn't return several links. So you don't have to go and start clicking, reading. So to meet up with the competition and, match up with something that can be similar to it, they introduced AI overview. So you get that ChatGPT vibe when you search on Google, even though it's Google. All right. But and now it's not becomes the thing that is ranking first, which is becoming another market by itself. Well, we'll leave that and school. That's our conversation right now. Trying to explain search engine optimization. So I searched for how to make $1 million, and then AI overview comes up. I already explained what that is. Just introduced by Google in the bid to compete with ChatGPT. But we'll scroll down now to explain search engine optimization, the organic part. Now, after right here, you see what they just indicate. AI can make mistakes, so double check responses. The same thing that ChatGPT usually tells you. So this one is AI sorted, all right. But this is search engine optimization. All right. For example, you see the first answer that ChatGPT returns. So Google doesn't really have the answer. Google is just checking different things that different people have uploaded online around how to make $1 million. So the first response is sending to me is Lewis House or Lewis House, however it's pronounced. I'm not sure. So the first things from this website, like, so it's how to make $1 million online. Then the next thing is a video. Now, all this, if they are not paid, they did not pay for Google to display their results here. All right, Google is only searching through the web, checking the people that has content in the entire internet that relates the most with what I just searched for, which is how to make $1 million. And then they are returning that feedback, that response to me based on their own metric on who qualifies the most and who should appear first. So the thing is that we, as you know, if you're trying to do SEO, now you don't pay for this. Your only goal is to understand what makes Google favors a person. Now you're not paying, right? This is organic, right? It's their work. That's why they're in business. You know, they are a search engine, so they search around the internet based on what the user puts in to get feedback. You know, to just get responses back. So the resource is a different website. The next response is feedback from YouTube. All right, YouTube videos that try mix what I put in. The third one, which is on that, you know, YouTube videos goes a very long way for SEO too. You know, YouTube takes place in SEO. The third one is Investopedia, and there's a reason why I'm even pointing this out. If you are familiar with searching for things like this, you know that Investopedia normally should be like is a very high ranking website that should even be more respected by Google when it comes to things about how to make money, how to invest, but they are not even the first. The first that Google is presenting is this Lewis Harris, irrespective of how it's pronounced. I'm not sure, but just nice my pronunciation if it's not correct to you. So the first is this. It shows that it's not always by how big the website is or by how small it is. You can actually learn how to make Google favor you, how to make Google return your response, how to rank organically. All right, how to rank organically for each keyword that you put in. And after Investopedia, you have Reddit, you have Entrepreneurship Handbook, and you know you have School of Hard Knocks. So as SEO, as an SEO specialist, so when it comes to search engine optimization, you're just learning how to make Google favor you. You know what Google looks out for when they are trying to determine whose person results to display first after they've done their search based on the keyword you put in. All right, so that's what search engine optimization is. It's different from paid. So if we go back to just to contrast, you know, to explain the difference between SEM and SEO. SEM is paid. If we search for clothes, for example, you know, and I come down, like I said, the first thing you see is the AI overview because of the new competition, you know, how life has been trending. They don't want to be left outside. They just introduce AI overview. When you come, the next thing you see is the sponsored products. Sponsored products means this one is not because they ranked organically. It's not because they've put in the work to learn how to make Google favor them. This one is because they paid for it. So you can just call it a bribe. All right. They bribe, yeah. They bribe their way trying. Even that bribe going is not easy because there are plenty of people trying to bribe for that particular keyword. So you need to learn how to bribe the bribe to be able to appear when they search for the words that you want to bribe for in that context. Just help us understand it better. So you have sponsored products, you have the different codes. Now you're saying sponsored products means this thing is not because Google likes them or because they ranked organically for it, but because they paid to appear. That's what Google is telling you. This guy is paid me money to appear here. All right, if you want to appear, it costs you money. It costs you money. Then after sponsored products, you see the ones that are organic here. This sale marketplace, they didn't pay for this. It just lends SEO, you know, or maybe paid an SEO specialist to be able to rank this site for this keyword. All right, the rest that you have here are organic. This one's didn't pay. So Google usually distinct the ones that is paid, the ones that is sponsored, before it now comes to the ones that is organic. So usually starts first with the AI overview. If there's any sponsored, you know, category for that particular keyword, it brings it next. It's tell you sponsored products, or tell you paid. Then it goes down to tell you the organic results based on that particular keyword that you've sent in. So I've just been trying to properly differentiate SEM, SMM, and SEO. Before I proceed further, let me find out, so far, are we good? Any confusion on these three? Any questions around them? If you're good, if you don't have any questions, you think I'm doing a good job, you can leave a reaction and let me feel fly. Thank you. Thank you. You really want me to feel fly? Oh my God, I'm feeling fly. Okay. So I don't even feel like landing again. This fly is high. All right, let me present something. So let me come back to the. Let me come back to the. Let me come back to the slides. So you just hear me now. And once I feel fly like this, come on. If I unleash the rest of my teaching skill by, let me not unleash it. Let me so I'll be able to close this class once it's two, for example. Let me still not unleash all my powers. Let me just keep using the remaining small teaching powers that I have. And then now let's move on to the next the one that we have next for digital marketing channels is email marketing. All right, so it should be covered in the advanced one. So email marketing is one of the very important aspects of another very important digital marketing channel after SCM, SMM, and SEO. All right, so for email marketing, we use it to all of you have experienced email marketing. You know, we sent you emails when you came on board. That was us practicing email marketing with you. You've received email marketing. You know, you've clicked on emails. You've been receiving emails from brands. You are experiencing email marketing. So email marketing is primarily using email to build relationship and drive conversions. You know, and to nurture leads. Right, nurture leads might still sound a little bit spooky for now, except we're going to start explaining what leads are, what it means to nurture leads. So that's why I just prefer to say, so is using emails to build relationships and drive conversions. That's what email marketing is. So the advantages of this is you have high return on investments. All right. Initially when I selling digital marketing, and I was finding out that email marketing has the highest return on investment, I was surprised because then I was like, come on, is email not old fashioned? Is email not outdated? How are these people saying? How these guys just saying email has the highest ROI? Like, I don't understand. I was expecting to be social media. I should have the highest return on investment. But, for email marketing, it also gives direct communication as well. That's one of the advantage. And you have ownership of audience, which is like the biggest advantage to me. And I'll explain what that means compared to Facebook or Instagram or YouTube. So if Facebook bans you from their platform, bans you from using their platform or blocks you, you've lost your audience. You have to create another account, or even if you go to another platform and say, I don't want to use Facebook again, you go to Twitter, you will have to start catching a new audience. You're starting from scratch, building from fresh, compared to email marketing. For email marketing, you own your audience, you have your leads. So even if the email marketing platform say, no, we don't think you're a good fit for our platform. And let me just tell you a secret, I've had that experience before. Yeah, the email marketing platform felt like we feel like we don't really align, they felt like they just tried, they wanted to kick me out. And my people did not know because they did not stop receiving my emails. I just carry the same emails to the other platform. And we are good. So if at all you have an issue with any email marketing platform, you still have your emails, all right? You can carry your audience with you to your new platform. If anything happens, you don't lose your audience. You keep your audience with you compared to as other, social media, for example, the other digital marketing channel. So the disadvantage for this is that it requires list building, all right? So you have to gather emails to begin with, all right? Like the likes, it needs good copywriting, and you have to find a way to get people, to have people give you their emails, right? To join your list, to build your list. That's what it means when I say require list building. And then deliverability issues, if poorly managed, sometimes when you send emails, some could get to spam, some might not get to inbox and the likes, So those are disadvantages that comes with email marketing, as well as the advantages. Remember, I said we we're just going through so that you're aware of all the different channels of digital marketing, right? Then we'll now over time focus on one after the other. For now, it's just giving you a general overview. Like every professional digital marketer should have an understanding of how all of these digital marketing channels work, even though it's not your area of specialization. So in digital marketing is very broad, right? There are different career paths in digital marketing. People just choose to focus solely on SEO, search engine optimization, and that's their job role. That's the job they apply for. That's where they choose to pitch their tents. There are people that just focus on SEM. There are people that focus on meta advertising. That's their specialty. So if you are not aware, you think that the only job opportunity in digital marketing is when you see that you're looking for a digital marketer. You think that that's the only job opportunity, but most times you never see it. But people are not even hiring for digital marketers. You just see a job opportunity of you're looking for a meta art specialist. All right. But if you are not aware, you know that it applies to you, because meta art specialist is still one of the channels of digital marketing. Sometimes they tell you they're looking for someone that does SEO. All right. So there are different job opportunities, different job umbrellas under digital marketing, just like an umbrella. All right. And sometimes someone just come up straight to tell you are looking for a digital marketer. And in those cases, many times they're expecting you to be Bobo Niche. Bobo Niche in category. Niche for NICHE. All right. But again, it's important for you to know the different opportunities that exist. That's why I'm taking time to clarify. So that when you see those opportunities, you don't miss out of them. And you can actually choose to pick your tent, pitch your tent, and let's continue with this. So for display advertising, there's something they say in the army, I think, like if I recall correctly, they say a general should have idea, should know something about everything, and should know everything about something. So that's just what we are doing, getting to know something about everything. Sorry, before we now need to know, getting to know at least everything about one thing, and several one things as we go on. So for display advertising, and that is so the next digital marketing channel. So that's banner ads, being shown on. If you visit the website, you see a banner, you see a picture, or maybe you're browsing. Yeah, one of those apps that you're supposed to pay for, and you have not paid for, you do not pay for. You just see a picture come, you just see a picture come up, and yeah, I've been, I have some of those kind of apps too. You just come up and you see, I don't like using them. I just try as much as I can to reduce, just take them out. Just see a picture come up. That's display advertising. You're not planning to see it. You did not schedule that you want to see this thing today. You're just on one particular app. And then you just see the display, just show up, or whether an application, a website, a platform. Even YouTube is largely considered as a good part of the chief of display advertising, display advertising as well. So all those categories falls under display advertising. What's the advantage? It's just great for awareness. All right, supports your targets, and that's the best advice I give. So I don't get too complex too fast. Like I said, display advertising would be uninteresting and boring if the person is not actually interested in your brand to begin with. The only time it makes sense is if the person has, maybe indicated interest. You are sure that the person likes you. That's why the advantage is for retargeting. That's where it actually comes more handy. Support retargeting. All right, so you are sure that these people, you are targeting people, specific people that you know have engaged with your business before in that sense. So support retargeting. But the disadvantage, sometimes it can have low click-through rates, right? Because they are busy doing something. They're not interested in what you are showing them at the time. They might just be playing a game, overwhelmed with the game, and then the ad just comes up. So, who wants to leave a game to go and click, to go and click on your ad, except they really can't relate with it. That's why I say it comes up very well for retargeting. So, low click-through rate, and many times require strong creative. Creative means design. Your designs have to be really compelling enough to distract them out of what they are doing. It requires strong creative, strong, fine design, strong captions, and the like. So we'll go on to the next one. The next channel of marketing is AI marketing. In the last cohort, I was like, when I introduced this, when I was putting this into the list, I was like, I introduced this by saying things like, it's just upcoming, it's thriving, but I think it's something that I should not ignore, so I had to put it here. It's something that should become big very soon. But alas, right now it's already big somehow, looking at it, AI marketing is already becoming a real thing, and just, very, very, very. So it's using artificial intelligence tools and automation to improve marketing, performance, personalization, customer targeting, content creation, and campaign optimization. So in this sense, we will not really consider it as much yet, to say a different channel of marketing, because to be honest, so far I think, right, and I would like to even get your thoughts if you have any on this. Primarily, when you search for for Google AI, for example, it's still a regular SEO that it leverages on. It's lyrics on, and the same thing for ChatGPT too. ChatGPT has its own syntax, but it's not giving, still so many times for it to refer a business or everything, still has to sort through the normal data and the normal parts that the normal way a search engine actually go through business. So whether or not you can define it yet to be a channel of marketing is still debatable in a sense, but I think it's debatable in a sense because what I'm trying to say is now let me go back to my screen to share you something from my browser in real time. Um, we are style. All right. So for example, I told you that Google optimized themselves. Anytime you search for something, just gives you the AI overview first. So pretending to be like ChatGPT to you. But it's not ChatGPT, don't let it wrong. So the AI overview, first you have clothes or clothing, refer to items, and all the information that is giving the AI overview is actually based on what it is picking up. And Google is transparent enough to tell you that I'm getting this thing still based off SEO, search engine optimization. So if you over on this link here, you see where it gets that particular segment of the information from. So this first part of this information is from Wikipedia. All right. The other one is from dictionary.com. If you scroll down, you see hinges, you see. So it's still AI. AI is intelligent. It's coming up with its own unique definition. But if you want to see the sources, it's telling you the areas that, where it's, if you click on that thing, this small thing here that looks like a chain, it tells you the sources of where it gets that particular information from for that particular paragraph, for that particular section. So there's still, so to actually rank for AI is almost, many times the same rules really apply. It's almost the same thing as trying to rank for SEO in that sense, because the AI searches picks data from people that are already ranking from SEO in real sense. There might be more to it over time as we are coming. So that's just why, but it's big. All right, people are considering it to be like a separate digital marketing channel, like trying to rank for AI, rank for ChatGPT. Well, yes, it's still debatable. I'm searching right now. It's still debatable in that sense. Sorry, debatable in that sense, because it's literally almost the same thing. Like if you come here, you are saying that when it says main categories of clothes, now the AI is telling you main categories of clothing. You have casual wear, you have formal, you have traditional, and it's still referencing to normal Google links that you can click on to see the actual site where it's getting those information from. So the way we actually pursue that is still pursuing SEO in the real sense, pursuing SEO so far so good, aside from any other additional things, but primarily it's what it is. It's what it is. So persons will just debate if you can classify it to be a separate channel, of digital marketing or not, because if you rank properly on SEO, then you probably, you definitely rank properly with AI too as well. So that's that, but it's still becoming something big. So we will not ignore it. All right. So it has to be stated here in that sense. All right. So we're done with sharing all the different channels of digital marketing, and went through SMM, social media marketing, went through SEO, search engine optimization, went through SMM, social media marketing, SEM, search engine marketing, then SEO, search engine optimization, went through email marketing, went through display advertising, just to get you to be familiar with what it is, went through AI marketing. So AI marketing in this sense, sometimes we usually use it to using artificial intelligence to improve marketing, not as a channel to marketing by itself. So like where you are now integrating AI with your marketing. So people feel like would AI kick marketers out? Really it's a concern, And when we get to week 7, all right, I'll really share my thoughts on that. Some person will say week 7 fun. Week 7 fun now. But week 7 is really talking about, we'll begin talking about the making money part, with markets and leverage if you are going to freelance, the job, the agency route. So that's where we'll begin to share, talking about areas of concern, competition, and the likes. But for now, AI is to be a tool that we embrace and that we use solely to we use solely to work with marketing. So when we talk about AI marketing, we're not really talking about it as a channel of marketing, right? It's talking about embracing AI, using artificial intelligence tools and automation to improve marketing. So, yes, it's important that you understand that we have to embrace AI as digital marketers. It's not only other areas like web development that AI is helpful for. AI is coming for. AI is also very helpful for digital marketing as well. It's important to know that. So we have generating ad copy with AI. People using AI for chatbot support, customer support. Yes. Instead of having a human, that's an area of market AI where AI is coming through for digital marketing. Creating good customer and market experience. Then you have predictive analytics, right? AI commentary for that, AI powered email personalization, generating content automatically, right? Things that would take you a lot of time to batch create content. Now, there's this content creator that I needed for, I just know someone, shall I make too much details, and, I was having good content with, in his field, in his niche on social media. And the person that was helping him shoot this video was telling me that, Omo, do you know that? Don't tell him I told you. This guy gets his contents from AI. This guy works with ChatGPT to get the contents. But I'm talking about real videos where he's talking, like you have other guys that do those kind of context talking and acting. I was like, yeah. So, so for advantage, you have faster content creation, you have improved personalization, you have better data analysis, you have automation that saves time. It can improve campaign performance. And now let me just put this here to debunk something. Certain hierarchies these days, people look, some, not all, in all honesty, they look at AI like a stigma. You use AI, don't tell me that. You mean you don't know how? You mean you don't know how to do this without AI? Like they are not expecting you to use AI. But so some persons, some persons have that mindset of maybe I shouldn't be using AI. Maybe it's not something to be proud of. Maybe it's something to be ashamed of. But the truth is that AI is here to stay forever. All right. The only thing is I might just over time become exclusive. Maybe the pricing might increase, might no longer be very free and accessible as it used to be. What I think, when my predictions are usually correct, the cost might just increase, but it's here for the long run. So I don't think it's wrong to use AI. I think we all should embrace it. And I'm saying this generally, both as digital marketers, for the long run. I don't think you can beat the competition without using AI. AI is saving lives. Just the problem I have is that people, you should try to have a knowledge or a good understanding of what you're doing, what you're trying to do. The AI should amplify it, because AI is still garbage in, garbage out many times. So if you have issues and you're working with AI, it will be easy to resolve it when you really know what you're doing. And sometimes AI can give you issues. Let's not just put it yet, right? It can stress you. But if, like, very, very well, we are doing technically, and you can train your model to begin to think like you. All right. So, for example, if I open my own ChatGPT from my mail and send it a question, maybe give the marketing prompt, and you open and give the marketing prompt, it's not respond to us the same way. No, the answer it will give to you is different from the answer it will give to me. Why? Because my ChatGPT already knows how I think. I tell it how to give me answers. I tell it, don't send me copies like this. Send me copy like this. Whenever you're sending me a copy, always put this on first. Note it. So I've trained my AI to act in a certain way. So what I'm trying to say is that the output of your AI would be different when you know what you're doing real good, compared to when you're just trying to use AI to, produce any other output. And the goal is to already know what you know, then get AI to save you time with it and amplify what you know, trying to just follow the leadership of AI. So there is making AI your lead, and then there's leading AI, using AI to get the results that you want to get. All right. So there is so this disadvantage is that, for AI many times I don't think there's a real disadvantage to AI, but disadvantage is that it requires proper prompting and oversight, which can be a disadvantage. But if you know what you're doing well, that one should not be a big deal. All right, it requires proper prompting and oversight. and then can produce generic content if poorly used. And over reliance on AI reduces human creativity, which is the truth. And then another disadvantage, of course, on your slide you have like two disadvantages only and two advantages. But all right, I have a lesson notes that I've prepared for you guys. Again, you know, complete with all the advantages that I have, all the disadvantages, more of them, because not everything can fit into the slides, and you can get access to that lesson material that I'm looking at right now. You know, so some tools require paid subscriptions for AI, so you have to make payments to be able to. You have to make payments to get access to them. All right, so let's see what else we can cover. But then, so far, so good. Please, let me get, what are you learning? What have you learned so far? Okay, let me even ask, if you've learned something new that I didn't know prior to now, can you just leave a reaction? All right, so if I've said something that before this class, all right, because it's just the basics. All right, if I've said something that maybe before this first section you didn't have any knowledge of, can you leave a reaction? Okay, beautiful. I like having interactive sessions. Like I will not just rest if we don't interact. So do you want to share, or that's just enough? So that's what they need. Like maybe what stood out for you like the most from all this was, it's just like taking a break instead of overloading with information, to be sure that I'm really talking to real persons, and then we are catching up and following through. But I'm not just presenting, I'm educating. So so what would you say you want to share the major thing that has stood out the most for you? Like if you say one thing that I learned from this class, one thing so far so good from this point now, you can drop it in the comments and messages. I want to see that, my friend, my good friend. Don't worry, you become my friend. People that are interacting in my classes usually become my friends very well. Faster than the ones who don't. Faster than the ones who don't. All right. So you can drop your interactions, and I'm doing this to encourage the interactions because it's important for your learning as well. Stating what you learned, getting to think through it, give this comment. So please drop a message. Just let me know one thing that has stood out for you. um I didn't think you reacted right, so please, just one is enough. One feedback is enough, and I can move on with the class. One is enough to just, at least, not because I don't care about the feedback from the other people, but at least that one I can just use it to have that testament or testimony that the other person's at least if one person is learning, chances are there that every other person too is most likely learning, I think. So what do you think stood out the most for you out of all the plenty things I've been talking about? Just one line, one major thing you've learned. Everyone has been here present. Like you can just leave a message, a comment, or if leaving a comment a bit too much, you can unmute. But I've observed it's like very, very shy here. Everyone has been linked to unmute since the beginning. Only reactions and messages. So I'll be expecting that to come in. All right, and maybe I'll come back to talk about it as we go on. But please just send a message. If you don't know how to do that series in call messages, all right, you can click on in call messages. You can type and put that in while I just go through with this. So there are other forms of other marketing terms and forms. All right, so you have other terms associated with marketing aside from digital marketing channels and the like. So you have content marketing. Why I'm explaining this is so that at least at the end of this class, someone should be able to tell that you have started learning digital marketing after going through this, this video or without your life here. You should be able to think like a digital marketer to yourself, talk like a digital marketer. You have an understanding of what digital marketing is. You have an understanding of the different channels, the different forms of digital marketing. And now we are not talking about the different other marketing terms, other terminologies, other concepts, other forms of marketing, or in digital marketing in general. So there is something called content marketing. Now, this is not a marketing channel. All right. Like I said, this category, this part of the class, I'm just talking about other marketing terms and forms. And talking about AI marketing, using AI to assist your marketing, to do everything you want to do. In case you can see my screen, you would see by the side that this slide was actually, I was easy to create with AI. I gave it all the contents from my lesson notes. It made the slides with AI, and that's why you can see made with Gamma underneath here, Gamma AI. That's one of the ways we're embracing AI as, in marketing as well, even as a digital marketing instructor. So in case you've been seeing Matrix Gamma under and you're wondering what Matrix Gamma is, it just means that I'm practicing what I'm teaching. So you not to go far like that. So now other marketing terms and forms. Now under content marketing, it means we are creating valuable content to attract and convert customers. Okay, creating valuable content to attract, and content marketing actually is a term is a term or a form of marketing that's that goes around to every other marketing channel. But the idea behind content marketing, when somebody mentions content marketing, it just simply means that they are creating valuable content. This content could either be blogs, videos, or guides to attract and convert customers. There are different categories of those contents, but it's just to attract and convert customers. So the advantages is that it builds trust, especially when it's educative. All right. If you are teaching, you're creating content to provide education and information in a particular area, people will easily consider you as an expert in that area because you are positioning yourself as one. So one of the advantages to of content marketing is that it builds trust, it supports SEO, and it's a long-term assets. Long-term assets in the sense of, for example, YouTube. So you have videos of 9 years back that are still increasing in views on YouTube. In fact, there are some videos that performed the first year, and all of a sudden, something just happened, and boom, the views just increased and everything. So it's like a long-term assets in that sense because they get paid for the views and watch time and all of that. So disadvantage is time intensive. It requires consistency. Results take time. And another marketing form that is out there and it's leading is affiliate marketing. All right. So affiliate marketing simply means that you are promoting other people's products and getting commission for each sale. So almost everyone may have participated in affiliate marketing without knowing it. If you've referred somebody to someone else and the person just tipped you, say, thank you for bringing this person that paid me 200 naira, just take 20 naira. The person not call it bribe or that. She just said, take. And just said, take it. I dash you. That's affiliate marketing. Subtly, you are getting a commission, even though it's not. That's just giving an idea. But affiliate marketing is that it's already defined many times. It's defined that if you get this person, you're getting a percentage commission for each sale or for each referral you bring. So these are people's businesses. And there's this guy, I think it's, you can go to YouTube. His name comes to my Grafani or something. One of the biggest affiliate marketers. There are people that this is their own. This is the path they've chosen to follow in digital marketing space. And they're actually big. It's like, earning in several. One is even doing 7 figures. The guy I just tried to mention his name, 7 figures in USD from affiliate marketing, like he's millionaire and just what he does is affiliate marketing. So you don't have to, you learn digital marketing, you apply it, you don't come up with your own products. You find people that already have products, that are good, that you think that their commission is good, you take it and you sell it for them and you get your commission. So the advantage is that you don't need to create products, and many times it's a lower startup cost, right? You're just marketing other people's products. The disadvantage is that you have lower control over products, and many times it's competitive, right? So because you are marketing, the owner of products is marketing, all of that. So there are techniques, there are people that specialize on this again. So they have their courses, there are techniques to go about choosing the right product to become an affiliate marketer for all of that. I think it's when it came to Nigeria, Nigeria's, gosh, we almost called it affiliate marketing because I think it was flying on the wings of things like experts near and the likes, which it doesn't really bad, but then if you know, you know. So we'll come back to influencer marketing. That's another term influencer marketing. So what I meant was that the difference why I prefer let me leave that share. But normally, should I still talk about it a little? So for affiliate markets, what I observed when it came to Nigerian markets is that people are not actually trying to sell real value. What they're trying to do affiliate marketing was for, so they tell you come, you make money, we teach out. There was no real value attached to it in that sense. It just looked like an MLM scheme in that sense, try to position it in a weird way, which is not what affiliate marketing really is about. Affiliate marketing really means that you learn how to market, all right, but you are not marketing to your products. You have skills, you have marketing skills. You know how to set up landing pages, you know how to set up a funnel, and then you're now applying that your marketing knowledge to somebody else's products, and you're getting commission based off that product. So if you want to really become an affiliate marketer, you have to learn marketing, right? People to digital marketing in that sense, not the way it's really publicized in the Nigerian market, which is wrong many times. So then we have another term used, which is influencer marketing. Influencer marketing means that you're leveraging, very popular, almost you are leveraging with creators, to promote products. So you just reach out to someone that has audience, and then you tell the person to talk about your products because you believe that these people already have people that believe in them. So, for example, reaching out to someone like Davido to, talk about your products, he has fans. So the same loyalty or love that they have for him, they can attach it to your products because it's now associating with your product in that sense. So you're leveraging with creators that have audience to promote your product or your service. So the advantage is that it builds trust fast, fast trust building, and then high reach. You're leveraging on the reach that people have already built. These guys are putting the work to build their audience. So you are just reaching to their audience by, you're paying them, collaborating with them or something. The advantage sometimes that can be expensive and the ROI is not always predictable. All right, it's always predictable. So yeah, there are popular Twitter guys that post. They tell you once this guy posts, you don't blow, and that's happened with many people. He has post people when it's far. There are some other people that are paid to post. It doesn't look like on that day people did not really see his post. He will not really see his post that day, and he cannot fault him because the agreement was you pay me, I post you. All right, you are not banking. The payment is not based on the results. The IRA is always predictable. So that's for influencer marketing. So these are other marketing things I should be aware of as someone that is into digital marketing because there are times where you might have to fall into your marketing strategy. You might want to leverage on them, or you never know. So we'll further on as we wrap up with this class soon enough. Phew. Now let me come back with my spotlights. We'll come back to getting your feedbacks on this, but let me try and just cover up. I want to be sure we following. Right now, I'm not asking to leave your feedbacks, all right? So you don't feel like, oh, well, just leave a reaction. Okay, good. Thank God. Already know what I was asking about. I want to leave reactions. Be sure you're following. So traffic acquisition types. Now, what is traffic? What is traffic? All right, traffic in summaries, people will actually market is attention. People, visit on your page. So, on this section of the class, we're talking about traffic acquisition types. This is to last for 2 hours, and I want it to not be too overwhelming. That's why I'm taking breaks in between, trying to find out if you're following up, if you're learning anything, if you think it's becoming too much, if you should just chill, relax, play music for like 2 minutes. I don't mind, and then just release class. I can find the music from my end to play. I'll ask you what your favorite. I'll ask you what your favorite song is. Which song you want to hear? Because for me the goal is not just that I come and talk. Is that you understand and you make meaning out of this. So if that's what is required for you to really get what I'm saying at the end of the day, I will not mind. So my talking will not be in vain. All right, I don't mind taking 2 minutes radio break to play jams. Just that my jams will not be your jams, so you have to choose your songs. But let me come back to this traffic acquisition types. Please keep following. I don't get distracted along the line. Even if it's an online class, keep your focus on the screen. Don't be too distracted and just miss out of what I'm saying. They're all important, even though it's introductory. Traffic acquisition types. So these are not channels. All right, this is how traffic is obtained. So, and I want to talk about paid traffic. So traffic, for example, is just having people in summary. People visit your website, people come to what you are doing, people reach out to, people reach out to you in that sense. I'll give you more concise definition as we go further, but just call traffic people in summary to begin with, basically, in marketing. So we talked about different digital marketing channels. Talk about social media marketing, talk about social media marketing, yes, search engine marketing, search engine optimization. The goal of all those things is to get attention. All right, is to get people to see what you are doing, So those are different channels. But now we are talking about how traffic is obtained. All right, so you can either pay for it, which some of them from this you can already tell the different marketing channels that fall under different traffic acquisition types. So one of the way of getting people to see what you're doing is either by paying for it. All right, so for example, you can pay Facebook to run an ad, you can pay Meta, you can pay Google, you can have a sponsored post. That's the people that you get from doing that is paid traffic. So paid traffic is simply traffic generated by paying platforms. All right. So, and you can do social media marketing without paying. Show you are aware without doing paid traffic. You can just, you can learn the algorithm, you can post, you can, it also means that, so that one is called organic traffic, the one you're not paying for. So for some of these marketing channels, for the marketing channels, they have their paid approach and they have the organic approach. Organic approach is what's term unpaid approach. So when you are doing SCM, when you are paying Google, that's paid traffic. That's the paid approach. When you're trying to get traffic without paying, you're doing SEO to rank organically. Optimization, that's the organic approach. So when it comes to traffic acquisition types, for paid traffic, you are having examples like Meta ads, Google ads, sponsored ads. So the pro, like I've shared, is you have faster results compared to just posting and expecting somebody to just reach out to you when you run an ad. Then faster results is scalable, and the cons is that it requires budget and it stops when spending stops. So as soon as you stop paying this, as soon as you stop spending, it stops immediately. Then the other traffic acquisition type is organic traffic. So organic traffic is traffic that is generated without direct ad spend. It doesn't mean that it might not cost you in other ways, but you are not necessarily paying this platform. So let's say the fact that you're not paying ads for social media marketing doesn't mean that you might not be paying the designer, to design what you're posting, or that might not be paying for a tool to edit your videos, all right, that you are uploading organically on those social media platforms. So organic traffic doesn't mean that it's always completely free, just that it's not a direct spend. All right, so traffic generated without direct ad spend. So please be aware that you pay these platforms, each of these channels, for example. So for when we talk about social media and search engine, you pay them. They offer paid traffic options and organic traffic options. You can choose to pay them, which is what we call sponsored ads. So push your posts. That is paid traffic. And you can choose to try to grow organically, all right, without paying. That is organic traffic. Same things apply, same thing applies with search engine marketing and search engine optimization, SEM, SEO. So like we said, the traffic from paying directly, paying platforms directly is called paid traffic. The ones without ad spend is organic traffic. So examples, SEO, organic social media, email nurturing. All right, those are organic traffic. All right, it doesn't mean that I might not even be paying for the email platform, but those are still, it's still considered organic traffic. So for the pros is that you are most likely thinking long term. In that case, you have a long term value and the cost is lower. All right. The constraint is that the growth is slow. All right. It's slower compared to paid, slow growth, and then requires consistency, but slow growth. So that's like the one major part of this, of the class. And we are entering lesson 2. And you're like, all these things, lesson 1. Yes. Sorry to announce, happy to announce that all of this was just under lesson 1. Lesson 1, and that is, if you remember from the first slide, that is what digital marketing really is. Just trying to explain digital marketing, different terms, concepts, different channels of digital marketing. That's why it's just looking more to it's good because we're just getting started. Okay, so lesson 2 is where we'll now start talking about understanding customer journey. But before then, leave a reaction if you're following, if you are with me. Or let me show that I'm not alone. Or alone, you're with me. And even if you choose not to be with me, but please don't choose not to. I want to. Okay, thank you, Onesimus. And how to ensure that you're always following. And okay, for your own good as well. All right, so that you learn it. It's because I know it I can teach. So I want you to know it so that I can put it for whatever reason you're choosing to register. And I wish you all the best so that we can really achieve both of our respective goals. Okay. Understanding customer journey. So let me clear my throat. Customer journey. When we talk about customer journey is like the psychological, forget the big grammar, I'll try to break it down. But for now, it's the psychological and behavioral parts a customer takes before making a purchase. All right. So what does that mean? There is a process that a customer goes through before they eventually buy. That process in their mind and that behavior that they have to exhibit through is what is called customer's journey. Maybe I'll break it down. Haven't I? So now we have different stages of customer journey. The first stage is usually awareness. So awareness is when they realize that they have a problem. All right. For somebody to, for somebody to want to solve a problem, you have to first of all be aware that they have a problem. All right. They have to be aware that they have a problem. And then that's when they are in the awareness. And someone will be like, okay, can somebody really have a problem without knowing that they have a problem? And I like to announce to you, I put it to you that yes, that is the case. All right, when it comes to marketing, you have to understand that let's say you have 100%, all right, 100% is complete. 70% of your real target audience are not really actively looking for a solution to what you are selling. You'll be the one to let them know why they need to buy what what you are selling, why they have the problem that you are trying to solve for them, which is not common actually. But we have marketing influencers like Sabri Sudi. All right, that is his major marketing approach. He likes to focus on that 70%, not on the lesser percent of guys that are already aware that they have a problem. So many times you can just choose your approach. In marketing, we only focus on people that are already looking for a solution to their problem. Me too, especially if you have a limited budget. So you don't want people that you try to convince that, you have a problem. You're trying to convince them that you have a problem or you just don't know, well, this is the problem and this is how it's affecting you. All right. But the truth is that most people that have that problem inside your target audience, like the bulk of them, also the category that you have to educate them. You have to help them realize that you actually have this problem before, they can now start exploring solution. So the first phase is awareness. They have to actually realize that they do have a problem, and the bulk of your target audience, which I'll still try to explain what that means as we go further in this class, falls under that category. And that is the category that people least go after, because it's a lot of work convincing people that they have a problem. It's just easy to sell your products, your solution to people that are already aware and are looking for solutions. So we have more people fighting for the same small 30%, which is another con by itself. But what to do? All right. So now customer realizes they have a problem. They are in awareness stage. Then consideration is when they are now begin to explore solution. That's when they are in concentration phase. All right. Conversion is when they are now, making a buying decision. They are in that period where they are open to making the buying, where they've made or they are making a buying decision. That's where conversion happens. Someone say they have converted, the person has made a buying decision. Then retention is when you are getting the person to, it's the process of trying to get the person to buy again. So retention is actually that the customer buys again or stays engaged. So in summary, you have awareness, you have consideration, you have conversion, and you have retention. So modern marketing, somebody say modern marketing. So this is your marketing funnel to actually comes in, and that's why I have it there. But modern marketing fundamentally involves activities to cover all phases. So it targets multiple, you have to think of a way to reach out to people in all the different phases of your customer journey. So modern marketing fundamentally involves activities to attract, to engage, to convert, and to retain customers. So you're trying to attract people that are seeing their awareness stage. It's a lot of talks that will primarily for now. We just say that attracts people, engage them to convert and retain. So like you can see on your screen, modern marketing fundamentally involves activities to attract, engage, to convert and retain customers, particularly in digital marketing space or in digital space. So it's important that you understand from the onset right now that the way you talk to somebody that is in the consideration phase is different from how the way you talk to somebody, the energy you put into somebody that's in the awareness phase, or conversion, so that the person can move over to retention. But when we are dealing with each of these people, anyone in their own various stage of customer journey, the goal is to try to move them to the next stage of customer journey so that they can easily get to conversion. So many times modern marketing is aware that there is something called customer journey. That people are different, they are in different phases of their customer journey, and then we have to know how to reach out to them based on where they are at in their customer journey. So that's the importance of designing something I will call maybe a marketing funnel. So that it's the goal of a marketing funnel is to move people from the up part of the marketing customer journey to conversion or retention. So it considers all framework. So it is often, this framework is often referred to as the customer life cycle or marketing funnel. So it's designed to build lasting relationship rather than just one-time transaction. So digital marketing is not just posting content online or running ads. It is intentional communication, all right, designed to generate measurable business outcomes. And many times intentional in the sense of intention of trying to move them from one phase of their customer journey to the other. It's intentional is that in the sense that it acknowledges that people are in different different phases of their customer journey. So it realizes that sometimes there are people that you have to be very patient with. There are things that you have to be patient with. There are things that you understand that, okay, you have to move them to one phase first before you do conversion. And to realize this, he acknowledges the fact that there are people that are already hot leads, all right, these people are already, in their conversion phase, and you can just easily get money out of them. But the end goal is to actually get everybody to that stage where they actually, pay you money at the end of the day. But, it's all encompassing. So it's not just posting online or running ads. You have to be intentional about communicating to people in their different marketing, your customer journey rather, and plan a structure to get them to move from one journey to the other, from one phase of their journey rather to the other. So the next thing we'll talk about in this class is actually niche selection. All right, to the lesson 3. Now, these things that I'm saying passively, they're actually very, very important. And when you want to begin practicing, you want to come back to your notes. It's important that you get your notes. I promise you, if you really want to this long term professionally go far, and maybe just take it, you're passionate about it as much as I am, maybe, then really, 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 they are very important things you put note of. And I'm not expecting that everything I say should just would automatically stick to your head, like all of a sudden. There are people that are very intelligent like that, and they are gifted, they have like magnetic brains. So as I'm saying everything, it's just sticking. For most persons, you need to have access to the lesson notes. You need to get the, you need to get the handout. You need to watch this again. All right. And it will help you really, really understand it more than just watching it once, actually. So when it comes to niche selection, all right, so we've covered customer journey briefly. When it comes to niche selection, which is where, most likely we'll just wrap up with niche selection, definitely wrap up with niche selection, and then we do the last lesson on that we call in the next class, which is offer creation. So for niche selection is specifying a segment. What is a niche? Like you can see, a niche is a specific segment of a market that you focus your marketing efforts on. All right, so everybody cannot be your target audience. All right, so every product has its target audience. Like I usually say, it's just like if you're selling if I want to reach out to somebody, like I'm trying to think of products. I don't want to use one of those examples that I like to use all the time, but nonetheless, let me just think of anything. Mm, so you have to know the kind of people that love the kind of products you're selling, that will be more interested in it before you try to sell it to them. So let's say you're trying to sell women wears to men. You struggle trying to deliberately market female because so why on earth? Why on earth? Of course, there can be some, you can still manage to make one sale or two because somebody might choose to buy for his wife, or for his daughter. You're married, but then you will get more results, most likely. It just makes more sense logically that you get more results if you target your marketing efforts to women, if you are selling women wears, than trying to focus on men. You just carry brand, just see one brother say, will you buy me? The person, first of all, if it's a typical Nigerian, you might not like the reaction because, honestly, you should not even try that. So, but it's important that you understand your niche. And one problem that people have many times is that they don't even, business owner in general, even not even digital marketers, it's like they don't try to define their target audience. They don't try to define their niche for the particular products that they are trying to sell. They think that you can just sell to everybody and anything. No, you have to know your niche. You have to, for example, if you're selling viral, and that's different between digital marketing and other aspects of marketing. Even though we don't focus on that. So there is TV advertising, people paid, to show. But one of the advantages of digital marketing is that you can specify the kind of audience, you can target a particular group of people that you want to display your ads to. All right. And that's why it's important for digital marketing that you really take advantage of that feature that digital marketing offers. Traditional marketing gives that quote that, 70% of your marketing is a waste, but you don't know where or when. But digital marketing copes that effect very well because you can be specific about your audience many times, So think about your audience, not all the time, not many times, and you should all the time. Be specific about the audience you're trying to reach. So if you are trying to sell bio, not just, people that need bio more, you can choose to be specific students, even if you are trying workers, look for the workers that need pen, that their job, teachers, all right, teachers, people that use pen, most likely use pen. I'm working, but I don't think I've had to hold a pen today, all through today, even though I like taking notes personally and I move about with my diary or notepad, but I've not had to write anything today. So look for, you have to understand your audience. So it improves targeting, it reduces competition, it reduces, competition complexities in that case. So it increases conversion rate. So for every product, let's just settle this. All right, it came up as a question during the last class. For every product, please be aware that every product has its target audience when it comes to marketing. All right, when it comes to marketing, you don't want to spawn, you don't want to throw your money anyhow. All right, that's why you're not seeing all the ads in the world. That's why you're not seeing all the ads in the world. If not, there are different people running ads on social media right now. The reason why you still have space to see your feed because before you see ads is because you don't fall into the category of all the advertisers. They specify the people that they want to show the ads to. Someone be like, okay, Coca-Cola runs ad. Yes, in case you're not aware. MTN runs, they do ad, but how many of their ads have you seen? So who will be their target audience in that case? So but how many of their ads have you seen? It shows that the fact that you are not part of the people seeing some of these ads often means that as much as it doesn't look like it on the outside, they have a target audience that they work with from the inside. They have a persona for the things that they spend money on. All right, they have a market, they have a buyer persona. So there is an audience for every market. So you have to be aware, and the criteria for a good niche before you, in case you're trying to create a product or something, the criteria for a good niche is being aware that the problem exists, all right, and that people spend money there. There are different approaches. There are people that create a product first and then try to discover the niche for that product, right? So there are people that look for the niche, then try to create a product for that niche. And yes, I've seen both happen in both cases. Let's say somebody just start posting about something and then blows up. All of a sudden, start getting a lot of engagement by posting organically, have over 1,000 followers, 10,000 followers, 30,000 followers. He or she doesn't have a product yet. Just became popular by talking about a particular thing and has already built audience around the particular thing. but the person is not making any money yet, because the person is not selling anything to that particular audience, but the person is having crazy engagement, crazy following. So the person has to think of a product for that particular niche so that he or she can monetize the audience that he have already built. So whether or not, there is no hard and fast. There are people that have their own arguments. So which one comes first? Should it be the product first or an audience first, whatever the problem. But if you are having a niche, if you are trying to go through the route of selecting an audience first or a niche first, criteria for selecting a good niche is that you can figure out that they already have an existing problem, people are spending money there, and then the demand is visible. But nonetheless, there are tips for audience clarity, because just selecting a niche is not enough. You have to really be more clear about your audience. You have to have really insight about your audience. So when we talk about niche, say niche is a specific segment of the market you focus your marketing efforts on. But then audience clarity means you're now having more insight into that your niche. For example, you are defining elements like age brackets, gender, location, income level, interest, pain points, goals. So these are things that are used in your targeting option. So just knowing your niche is not even enough. All right. So now you have to have clarity about your audience in that niche. Which age bracket? So let's say I'm selling something and then I know that I'm targeting. Now I have to think of something. Say I'm selling walking sticks. I'm selling walking sticks. Now I know that, just makes sense. I'm not thinking too much. Okay, now that is even dicey because it's not only men that use walking sticks. I know why it's only men that came to my head first, but at least but when it comes to fashion, I don't think women use walking sticks or the women use walking sticks. No, it's men that use walking sticks. It's wrapper and all those native attires. So let's say I'm selling walking sticks. I'll be targeting men, fancy walking sticks. I'll be targeting men. That'll be my niche. All right. So you have an assignment to do this, come up with this. It's important that you listen to. So I just have an idea. I'm using men, and now it's even more dicey. But men is not enough. I have to clarify which age bracket will I be targeting. So if I'm running an ad selling walking sticks, so I was likely be targeting from the age range of people that maybe 30 and above. You get why? If I'm targeting, like, of course, Nigerians only, right? Why? Different reasons. You're considering economical factor to the nation that you're targeting. Like, it's easier to bank that at least somebody that is 30 would has more chances to happen, even though that's not the case all the time. There are exceptions, but most likely, would have no money to afford stuff because of the poor economy that we are in. People might still be having some challenges, struggling. Not all the case. There are exceptions, all right, in their 20s, but that's not the case. That's an exception. But if I was running an ad in, for example, targeting just US, I'll not be thinking of shifting out to 25, not because there are not people suffering there, but in fact, you have more people even getting married already from 21, 22. All right. Yeah, so people usually get more financially stable on time and all of that. So you have to understand the economy, the kind of people, all those things would fall into your audience clarity as well. So when I say targeting from 30s, not because we don't have like let me even expose for that. It's not because you are not successful persons. No, that's not what I'm saying. But there's something on this in my mind that I skip. But if you are spending more, you want to spend money on what would give you the most results, what you are more sure of, not because you know that there are exceptions. All right, you're expecting results from the money you are spending. So you focus your money more on where you know that okay, you are most likely guaranteed or you are most likely assured of getting results from. So that's why the age gender for me would, if I was defining an audience clarity for that product would be more up, because I have more chances that at least most of the people that fall into that category in the location I'm targeting will be more, will be more ready to afford what I'm selling, not because there are no exceptions, but because I'm spending money and I want to get the most out of it to make sure that most people that see it actually would be people willing and able to make the purchase, even if I know that there are exceptions to it. So that would be my age, for example, selling walking sticks. For gender, I'll most likely, if I would select a gender, most likely select male. All right, male, yeah, male. Then location depends. Location, I'll select areas maybe around my physical location we are at currently, so that people can, very important, so that people can meet up with me. It's like it can be easy for me to deliver my products if I'm not doing outer state delivery and all of that. But if I'm doing outer state delivery, I'm most likely select location that their tribes use more walking stick, their culture and all of that. Having my audience clarity, not everybody in Nigeria. Find out people that will be more prone to buying walking sticks. So the income level, this just give you an example. So you have these are things you should go through the same way I'm going through when you are to do your own assignment for audience clarity, because you have the assignment at the end of week one. All right. So after selecting a niche, you have to be really clear about your audience. You have to have an idea about the income level you're targeting, their interests, know things that interest them, things like native fashion, culture, things that you can use to target them. All right, culture. Their pain points, what's problem, their pain points, what's pain that they already have in their goals. If all right, well, we'll definitely go more in depth into this. Definitely, even after your assignment, we'll start talking about things like copywriting, because when you're talking to your audience, you have to make them believe that you understand their problem. All right, if you can talk to them and you explain their problem to them, if you prove to them that you know their problem, they will believe that you have their solution. All right, so if you can talk to them and you showcase to them that you understand what they're going through, you understand their pain points, you understand their goals, you put all of that to your marketing message and all of that, then they will really trust you to be the person that has their solution. Like, for you to be able to relate with me very well, for you to know what I'm going through like this. I'm not talking about just generic messages, but for you to come up with those specific messages in your copywriting, you have to have a good understanding of your audience. That's where audience clarity comes up. You have to know their pain points, their struggles, the current challenges they have, and the current the existing solutions that they are using. So this, all right, I was already giving you an audience clarity example. So let's say your niche is you are doing fitness for busy professionals. So already someone could say your niche is busy professionals, but it's not enough to just have a niche, busy professionals. You have to have clarity in your niche. So audience clarity would be something like 28 to 40-year-old office workers in Lagos, people struggling with belly fats from long sitting hours. You have to be that specific. All right, you don't have time for the gym, one quick home workout routines, because that's what really help you stand out, in your marketing messages. So that's just an example of pain points. When you say struggling with belly fat, they know they know that they are struggling. They already have that pain point. Our own work is to do that research to find out their pain points so that we use it in our communication, in our messaging to them. All right. So that's just part of the things I listed here. So you have pain points, you have goals, you have interest, you have income level. So with that being said, maybe perhaps you can wrap this up here, but for this lesson 5, people can just touch it and just close on with lesson 5 and get there. The last is offer creation basics, and then in the next class should be me getting assignments. Maybe we can just close in with everything. And we've covered lesson 1, what digital marketing really is, all the basis of digital marketing, definitions, other terms, other channels of digital marketing, other terms used in digital marketing, and just in a quick recap, so you know how far you've come, all the things you've learned. Clap for yourself, you're so amazing. All right, so we'll cover lesson 2, understanding customer journey. Beautiful. You should clap for yourself some more. You just understanding customer journey. Understanding customer journey. Talk about what is customer journey, different stages of customer journey, and then how that comes with understanding how to create funnels and all of that. Just understanding from theoretical perspective. Then we'll talk about niche selection. All right, and then audience clarity rather, lesson 4. Before we start going into an assignment, like making a practical out of the most that we've learned today, we'll touch on one more lesson, which is offer creation. And many times someone could think that it's not, but I wish that we were okay. Many times someone could assume it's not too early to jump into offer creation and all of that, but it's actually part of the whole thing. When we start learning, we are just breezing through. It doesn't mean that we are going in depth into it. So offer creation primarily is when it falls on that messaging and communication with your target audience. After you've discovered your niche, you've clarified your message. So how would you tell them to come and buy, or what will you say to them to trigger that response? So that's where we'll come about offer creation. Offer creation means you're creating an offer for them. And many times this is where this is where many markets in slack in that sense, is because now we've seen the idea of marketing is not, this is not just me coming up with new stuffs. All right, marketing is has evolved over the years, keeps evolving. So we have different gurus coming up over time, not just self-acclaimed gurus, but the internet acknowledges them as gurus based off the results they've generated, how far they've come, the efforts they've put into the digital marketing space and industry. And then sometimes they come and some of them come up with new insight around some things. But some of these things, and sometimes they just maybe share some insights that are not really new, but just in a different with the same old insights that has been in existence since digital marketing has been reigning that I am aware of. So and one of these I came to place this offer creation, very, very important. And that's why it's important that as we talk about digital marketing, you have to be aware that there are guys that practice this real time, non-Nigerians that are making a whole lot from digital marketing, how that there's a lot of competition and there's a lot of opportunity in this space. Because if you just see digital marketing as something like, all right, just something that you do in Nigeria to help businesses grow, and you don't inspire yourself, you don't know what guys they are doing. You are not aware of someone like, Alex Omozi. You're not aware of someone like Russell Brunson. You don't know people like Gary Vee, and you're not aware that people run digital marketing agencies that are generating over $100 million in value. You think that it's just okay, a local thing. It doesn't just make sense. Is there any value in digital marketing? But when you see real data of people that are really doing crazy figures, from running digital marketing agencies, then it just gives that sense of it opens my mind personally to just see possibility. All right, it helps me see what is possible if I to depart from the long run, because there are people already doing crazy figures, and it's good that you know them. That's why I mentioned names during classes. So you look them up by yourself, Gary Vee, see what he's doing, see his idea on social media marketing. That's what is bigger on social media, check them out. So when it comes to offer creation, what led me into this is this, Richard Branson said something about offer, not just him, all the others. These are real people that you can pick up that are still alive, Many times, before I go, let me just define this. A strong offer focus on transformation, not just features. So before the penalty give reach or any other Jara wants to add, offer is just how you tell the people to come and buy what you sell. All right. So what you're not just telling them in a bland way, you're telling them, you're positioning what you do offer. And it's so important that it's now a very vital aspect of your market. And so you can have the right products, have the right target audience, but if you don't know how to craft the right offer to them, your marketing can go bad. You have to know the right way to position what you sell as an offer, how to craft a single line. You have to think of your marketing message as an offer. So, and someone like Alex Moses will say, make your offer so good that people feel stupid for saying no. Make your offer so good that people feel stupid for saying no. That's his hack. He has a complete book that he teaches on, how to come up with good offers. And he's somebody that has scaled companies over and over again via marketing to crazy hundreds of millions, over tens of millions. And these are things you can look up and verifiable online. So if you see people that are doing this and getting the same results, why not just learn from them and leverage on what they know, what they teach, and how they go about it? So offer creation basics, it has become that trick that has come into marketing. Instead of just crafting headlines in a natural way and thinking of a normal headline for my ad, you have to come from the standpoint of writing an offer, something irresistible, all right, that is hard to ignore, even after selecting your target audience. So many times you have to tweak the offer a lot of times. You have to think, okay, because the competition now is so much, right? You're not the only one trying to sell whatever you're trying to sell. But one of the things I'll position you differently is how you craft your offer, even if it's the same products behind the same, and that's where the offer comes in. Now we'll go in depth to see what we can share about, but you have an assignment. The only way you learn that is practice, right? So product, value, positioning, and promise, and then we'll be on the call together. I'll be tweaking your assignment, I'll be checking, I'll be sharing our insights into some of these things I do practically to see, okay, did you miss it here? What do I think you can do better here? And and all of that. And you share your thoughts and just listen together, rub minds. And I get insights from you too, hopefully. So that's around offer creation basics. So, but now we have to come to real business analysis. All right, real business analysis, which is the last part of this lesson. So you are now to pick an industry, you have to analyze business by yourself. This is an assignment. You have to pick a business, you have to select the industry, which is niche, based on what I've taught you. That's why, you need to have access. You should have been taking notes by yourself. Based on this business, it can be a business of your own or just a random business. What's niche? If I'm a digital marketer, okay, welcome, you're already practicing digital marketing. So if you are a digital marketer, we give you this business, or a business owner reaches out to you to market that product or company for them. You have to assume, all right, that in business owner reaches out to you, is hiring you for their digital marketing services. And week 7, we'll be doing outreach. What does outreach mean? Outreach means you'll be reaching out to business owner to pitch yourself to them. You will tell them, oh, I can do this for you. I can do that for you. And there's a way to go about that. You're not going to use word of mouth to do it. Many times, the first way to have outreach for a couple years back now is that you have to already do the outreach before outreaching. So you have to do basic work first before you even outreach to a cold client. You have to say, oh, I checked up your business. This is what I did for you. I came up with these copies for you. I came up with these offers for you. All right. So before you even outreach effectively in 2020, it's not just 20, before 2026, you have to have already done this work. All right. So, but this is your first assignment. Before we get that far, you have to review this one first. What you should be reviewing in the next class this week, not next week. All right. So you have to select a business, assume that they are hiring you to be a digital marketer for that brand. You select the niche, all right, and then you are trying to define the audience clarity based on all the things I said on audience clarity. And hold on, there is no right or wrong. So don't feel any exam tension or exam vibes. Of course, there is wrong. Let me know. And of course, you can be wrong and you can be right. But what I mean is that nobody is scolding you for making mistakes. You only get better if you are wrong. You'll be corrected. At least you get better. You would learn. So it's not something you should shy out from. It's not like an exam where you say, okay, if you fail, it's not a secondary school work. Like, you should be willing to, nobody will beat you, nobody will shout at you. It's just for your learning process. We are all old people, right? So your learning process, it's important that you do the work. You define the audience clarity based on all the stuff I stated here. And then your offer, you craft an offer. So if every product there's an offer that can be assigned to a product, so you think about based on this audience, based on first things first, you have to select a product. All right. So just imagine that if you already have a product you're trying to sell, but some of you have this, can use your product, select a product. Based on that product, you define the niche or the industry. Define the niche, you do your audience clarity, you craft an offer. These are the things that you would normally do. You would have to do normally if you ever end up doing digital marketing. So there is no way to escape it. So just start this from your week 1, right? It's the basics. That's how we get started. It's what professional marketing approach should be like to begin with. So you select your niche, you do your audience clarity, or I don't want to choose a product of your choice, all right? Either your own product or just assume that the owner of any company reaches out to you to become that digital marketer. So you choose that product, all right? So select the product. I'm not assigning product to you, or you select your product yourself. And then you select the niche for that product, you do audience clarity, you craft an offer. So you think of yourself, use AI, all right? So like I said, I'm using, use AI, but think with the AI as you are using AI. Don't let AI be your brain for you. There should be that, make sure you're learning because, so select a product, do the niche, the audience, because when you're working in real life, you will also use AI. So, so let's just be honest with ourselves from the start. So select the industry, select the audience, craft an offer. You tell yourself, if I'm selling these products, how can I sell this in a way that I'm presenting it as an offer instead of as a regular product? How can I make this thing sound as something too good that people will feel stupid for saying no to? When you get to that point, that's when you know that you have come up with a very good offer. What do I need to add to this product? Which other feature would I need to suggest? Sometimes it will even make you feel like, in all honesty, sometimes you look at the product and say, it's not enough to give me this kind of offer. What should I do to make this product better? What would I tweak to it? What would I add to it? Should I jump sell? You come up with good ideas, or just, I want to see all your thoughts. Let it be an interesting session when I'm going through your assignment. Let it be something that makes us think, that is mentally stimulating in that sense, please. All right, that's why I'm encouraging you to use AI. So it's interesting, you think alongside with AI, and then leave the marketing strategy part, right? You don't have to come to the marketing strategy right now because I haven't taught you that. All right, so you're just doing basically selecting a product, Yeah, selected. The marketing strategy comes from the different customer journey, but that's what we're doing now. You can skip the marketing strategy, you can skip the weaknesses. The major thing I'm expecting from you is to select a niche, do your audience clarity, and then, craft an offer for the products. Just those three things. Select a product, choose the niche or industry, do your audience clarity, then craft an offer. Are we good? Are we good? So this is the assignment. You define these elements, you must define your niche, your audience, the problem, and an offer. So in case before I go ahead to just elaborate on the assignment. So any questions so far? Any questions? Hello?
Good afternoon, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good afternoon.
All right, good afternoon. Thanks so much for this section.
A pleasure.
Um,
Pleasure's all mine.
I just want to ask, how do we submit this assignment? Like, in what template should we um, do this? Is it like in a presentation template or just a PDF
No, Word.
format?
Just use Word, not PDF. Just use doc in a Word format. In Word, so just make
Okay.
like it's a Word format. Word format is okay, and if you feel like, oh, I don't have access to a PC, you have applications on your phone, you have the VPS, all right, you can use to type things and save it and send it in a Word format, just in case. I'm thinking of all the exceptions and giving answers if that's your case. But as much as you can just use Word. So this is the assignment clearly stated. You have to define a niche, an audience, a problem, and an offer. So when I say problem, what did I mean here? Problem simply means products summarized. It doesn't simply mean the same thing, but that's what you can look at it as. So let me explain more. People buy solutions, and please be aware that from a certain part, this is my own hack. Everybody has a marketing approach. So this, if I'm thinking of a marketing strategy or anything, I'm thinking about people buy solutions. So I first of all ask myself, what problem is this product solving? All right, so that's freebie. I get one of my personal in-person approach to marketing, any campaign I run. If I start doing anything on any product or anything, so you have to be aware that your product is solving a problem for people. You're not trying to sell the product, you are trying to sell the solution. All right. If it's complex to you, let me take that again. Your product or your service is solving a problem for people. It has to be solving a problem. You have to, first of all, get clear. All right. I know I didn't emphasize on that during the beginning of the course, and I want to emphasize on everything because I've been emphasizing on so many things. But it's important that you understand this from me. This is my personal marketing style. So it's important that you have to define that problem that your product is solving. No, if you can define both, all right. So in fact, define all. So add it to part of the assignments. So that's, even I did not say this before, but it's here. So state the product, all right. State the problem that product is solving. This helps you as a marketer know how to communicate the solution better. So state the product, state the problem that it is solving, state the niche, do your audience clarity, craft an offer. All right, so just do everything like that at once. Thank you. I saw your question. That's why I'm responding. You're asking, I saw your question. Should you do problem or product? They're actually different. All right, so but state both of them. But it's the products that would help you determine the problem. And many times the product has several problems that it is solving, to be honest. You can look at the product and think, in practice, you can think of 10 problems that a particular product is solving. And but I would have you play around with it before I give, just play around as many as you can, as many problems that you can discover from a product, state all of them, and then state the niche, state the offer, or state at least one problem. I'm not telling you to come up. I'm just saying if you have more than one, it's fine, because I know that to be realistic, a product can solve multiple problems. So I'm not saying that you have to state 10. No, I'm just saying if you discover 10 and you want to state it 10, please go ahead. All right, I would enjoy it the more. verifying the assignments with you, and then so just state your niche, the audience clarity, the problem, the offer after. But all of this is based off the products. It's the products that determine the problem. So you cannot have, product or problem. You define the product first or the service first. Then the rest, the niche, the audience, the problem, the offer is based off that. Yeah. Well, welcome. Thank you too for getting it. Awesome. All right. Still have a great rest of the bye. I hope you enjoyed my class. And please, if you have other guys that do it, yeah, thank you for clapping. Even though you guys did not really come off the mic to say anything, and I'm not really impressed. Please, if you should actually impress me, actually impress me next time. Thank you so much too. I like the comments, I like the reactions, but I also like hearing voices sometimes when I'm asking questions. Want to hear voice feedbacks and all of that. And if you have friends that already start for the marketing class that are not present into this class, if by chance, all right. So if by chance you refer people for the scholarship, and you have seen them in the same group, all right, and they reach out for digital marketing, tell them that it's important to be present in the next class, or that they shouldn't miss out on their classes. And for the slides, oh, beautiful. Odeni, I didn't finally sent in what you learned. Okay, thank you. Now I know someone who is learning. All right, that's great. But please do your assignments, and so that we'll not have issues. Let's just continue being friends. Let's be friends for a very long time. So let's be friends for a very long time and send in. Thank you. I appreciate you for joining in. Yes, I actually say I love you all. But then I was talking about the course outline. We have a lesson notes that usually comes when you make payments for the certificates alongside different from the slide. So, all right. If you want to get that, you can just let me know if you're interested in getting. Aside from the video recordings will be available to all of you. All right. For people to have access to my lesson notes files, like give you like handouts, my personally crafted handouts for you. I'm not charging you extra for it. It's a scholarship. We're not charging extra for it. We're just saying when you make payments at the end of your certificate, it will also be given to you on the onset. But you can make payments, you can get it, you can have access to it. I can see how I can give you access to it beforehand since you've already paid, right? Before you get your certificate, but you're not paying separately for it. Once you make payment for your certificate, it comes alongside. No separate payments whatsoever. The payment for your certificate is only payments you are making. It covers for your certificate, and in addition, giving you lesson notes like handouts to it. So that's the advantage that comes with paying for a certificate. So once you just make that, if you do that, in case you're interested in getting my lesson notes that I'm reading from, not the slides that you can see, it's always beautifully decorated and designed, but more, it's a bit more detailed, looking like a notebook parts, like my lesson note or my handouts. All right. Well, thank you so much. I love you all. Thank you for showing up. Please reach out to your guys to shop. Bye. Have a good time. Good rest of the day.